adventure here. Welcome back. This is part 2 of our journey. We're halfway up the hill and taking a side trail here, the Guy Fleming Trail. This is a little loop that you can do, fairly flat, but has some great scenery. We'll get closer to the sandstone outcropping here in a minute. We'll go ahead and do this loop before we head back to the road and up to the top of the hill. Looks like we have some black sage that's growing out into the trail. We'll help the rangers and pick a little bit, trim it back. Smells great. Would be good in a nice stew to add some flavor. Maybe the Native Americans that lived here use these spices, natural spices, in their foods. Here's that sandstone structure. Off limits for climbing, but beautiful to look at. There were a lot of great conservationists that helped preserve this area for future generations. There's a little plaque here for one of them. This is the trail named after Guy Fleming. So, great job from this individual preserving this area. I have seen some wildlife on this trail. I did see a tarantula one time, kind of rare, but I was lucky enough to see one. Lots of lizards, and I have seen a few rattlesnakes, and actually some other snake species. So a lot of reptiles, lots of birds. You'll see hawks all over the park. And then there are peregrine falcons that nest in the cliffs above the ocean. When we get to the other side of this trail, you'll see the top of the cliffs where they nest, and sometimes when you're lucky you can see them flying around doing some acrobatics and getting their exercise, and of course hunting for food, which probably is a lot of field mice, squirrels, and rabbits. So we'll head on down the trail here, around, headed towards the ocean. You can see the wetlands below. This is a great ecological spot, and of course a buffer for those very rare tsunami events that could occur here. So the waves, as they come on shore, will get dispersed in this wetlands area, and so that's a good cushion for us to help minimize the destruction further inland. But tsunamis can occur here. When you're at the bottom of the hill, you'll see signs warning of that possible event. And of course, the best thing to do if that happens is head for higher ground. So here we are coming around the corner, and pretty soon we'll see the full view of the ocean, the beautiful Pacific.
Watch out, switch over. But it's a really good med school.
It was a good year for rain, lots of water, and so you can see quite a few flowers still blooming here. And of course the beautiful ocean view all the way up the coast. Very nice place to walk, relax, take in the beautiful scenery. Sure, it's a popular spot, but you can find some solitude here. We're at the top of those cliffs that I was mentioning where the falcons will sometimes be up and swooping around. Their nests are right over this little spot here. Later when we're down at the ocean, you'll be able to see the cliffs from the bottom up. But right now we're at the top. Alright, how many colors do we see in the flowers? We got some yellow and white. Lots of purple today. And there's a nice grouping of pine trees.
Things are going well. No longer the
What's the right piggyback for me?
got a bench up there that's
There are a lot of spots to rest and take in the views. There's some outlook points that you can hike down to and get a little bit closer to the ocean. For today, we'll just continue around on our loop, and we'll end up back at the road and then head up the hill. You can kind of see in the distance where we'll head to the top of the hill, and then we'll head from there down to the ocean. You can see here how the animals can trek down to the ocean. There's a little trail down below. Again, off limits to us, but it goes right through this little valley here, and that's a little animal trail. Beautiful. I love the mini alpine forest close to the ocean, nice and green, lots of flowers. You get the best of the mountains and the seashore. All in one spot. Awesome.
So that's what we're kind of intending.
We have had some company, but not too crowded today. That's kind of nice. You see my little finger pointing the way down the trail. Interesting mix of pine trees and chaparral and cactus. So we're almost back to the road, back to where we started on this loop. We'll head up the mountain, eventually reach our goal of getting to the top and heading down to the ocean. Along the way, there are a couple of other side trails that we should do. This will give you a good idea of all the little possibilities for getting your steps in at this park. For now, I'll sign off and see you up the hill.